Lamont and Tonelli.
We're going to go to our Mr. Skin line. Skin, how you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing wonderful. How are things at the 22nd Skiniversary headquarters?
We had a big party this week with, well, I shouldn't say big because with COVID it was a smaller get-together, but we were in an outdoor Mexican restaurant and had some margaritas and tacos and not the kind that you usually see at MrSkin.com, but it was very nice.
Well, that's those are the kind of taco you don't want to hear in that taco.
In the 80s, they were all over, yeah.
So what's going on, Skin? What's happening today?
Well, I wanted to say this is kind of breaking news for you guys. So there's a new Hulu show called 9 Perfect Strangers. It's from the same people that did Big Little Lies on HBO. And like Big Little Lies, it stars Nicole Kidman, but also Melissa McCarthy. And it's about these 9 stressed city dwellers, and they visit a boutique health and wellness resort run by Nicole Kidman, and they're trying to be transformed and all that. Well, forgetting all that stuff, Nicole Kidman in the 4th episode was nude. And not a big deal considering that this is the 19th movie or television show she's done a nude scene. But what is a big deal is she becomes the second person to ever do a nude scene in 5 different decades. And, she was nude. Remember Dead Calm with Billy Zane in the 80s? She was nude in that. And then the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s. And for the first time in the 2020s, she does a nude scene. Now, to put this all in perspective, she's going to have to wait 9 years and do another nude scene to tie Helen Mirren. But for now, she sits alone in second place and being nude in 5 decades, which is a really big deal. A really big deal.
That's pretty damn impressive.
It shows longevity, So, and I should mention, speaking of Hulu, I got to give myself a little plug here.
Yeah.
We sold Skin: A History of Nudity in the Movies to them last November.
Yep.
Our documentary, and it is the number one, not the number one documentary at Hulu. The number one movie at Hulu is Skin: A History of Nudity in the Movies.
Wow!
So,
Congratulations.
If you have Hulu, you can't, like, when you log in to Hulu, it's the first movie you see because
What?
the one. It's pretty cool. So I knew it would do well. Didn't know how well, but I'm pretty proud of that. Especially since it's not like a new release. It's a year old. We launched it in August of last year, and you could go on Amazon Prime, or you could get it at Fandango or these other places. But for streaming, Hulu has it, and it's doing really well, which is pretty awesome.
Hey, Skin, when we mentioned that we're going to talk to you on Thursdays, we get a ton of questions from Bone listeners, and Jim from Wisconsin has a question for you. He said the breastest TV series is Rizzoli and Isles. Have you heard of this show?
Oh, yeah, that's funny that he likes that. It's a show that aired from about 2010 to 2016, and it starred Angie Harmon and Sasha Alexander. And they were both very, very sexy, and both of them have done really nice nude scenes. Angie Harmon did a movie, it would have probably have been about 1997 called Lawn Dogs, in which she was topless. And Sasha Alexander, of course, in the great show Shameless, did some really awesome nudity. So good call on Rizzoli and Isles. That's a really sexy show. It's like CSI meets Laverne and Shirley,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That is quite a mix, isn't it?
All right. Well, Skin, it's always...
Schlemazel.
Schlemazel, Schlemazel.
Well, he's from Wisconsin, so he would get that.
Exactly.
So,
A lot of cheese on that taco, too.
Oh, God.
All right, Skin, with that, we've gone full circle. We'll wrap it up. It's always a treat talking to you. The great Mr. Skin from MrSkin.com. 22nd Skiniversary happening at Mr. Skin.
Lamont and Tonelli.